This is my current everyday carry. Since moving to New York City about a month ago, my day-to-day lifestyle has changed pretty significantly, so naturally, my everyday carry setup has also been evolving. So in this video, I want to share a few of the items I've been carrying with me almost every day, starting with the bag itself. So for days when I'm commuting to the office, or if I need to bring a laptop with me, I've still been using that Uniqlo crossbody shoulder bag that I mentioned in a previous Everyday Carry Essentials video. But since moving to New York City, I've found myself going on a lot more random little outings, photo walks, running errands, things like that, since it's just a lot easier to get around the city and there's just a lot more interesting things to do compared to the area I was living in before. And since I no longer have a car and mainly take the subway or walk to places, I need to be pretty intentional about what I do and don't bring with me. So lately my bag of choice has been this 4-liter sling bag from Orbit Key. It's called their Urban Sling, I believe. I've had this for a while now. I just hadn't really been using it until recently moving to New York. But I found that this bag is just kind of the perfect size for me. It's lightweight, compact, and because of the material, it can kind of flex and contract depending on how much stuff you fill it with. It's got this nice buckle strap here, so you can easily take it on and off, as well as this little key ring thing if you want to attach anything like a water bottle, keys, anything like that. And then it's got two main pockets. So there's the primary one here, which has a bunch of little different inner pockets. There's kind of the main section where you can fit something more substantial. You've got these little side pockets here. You've got this kind of zipper pocket. You can put smaller items. And it's also got this back sort of hidden pocket where you can put, valuables, wallet, passport, things like that. For this type of sort of smaller sling bag, camera bag type of thing, I used to use this Peak Design sling. I believe this is the 6-liter one, and this is a great bag too. Peak Design's products are obviously top of the line in terms of quality, but it is just a little bit too bulky for my needs. If I needed to carry more stuff, I would probably be using this more often. It's obviously got great protection and waterproof stuff for if you have lots of camera gear, but even like right now, this has nothing in it. It's pretty big and bulky because of all that extra padding. Whereas this Orbit Key bag is a lot more lightweight and compact and just easier to carry around on a daily basis. So one of the things I carry with me regularly inside the bag is my favorite pocket notebook, which is still this basic spiral notebook. I've mentioned this in other videos, but I just really like this notebook. I feel like it's the perfect size, not too small, not too big. It can fit easily in this bag or even in my pocket. And each sheet is about the size of an index card, I would say. I've been using this just to write down random thoughts, ideas, tasks when I'm out and about or even at home. And there's just something nice about carrying around some pen and paper with you. Yes, of course, you can take notes or jot things down on your phone. I still do that from time to time, but I also don't really want to be on my phone 24/7. And there's something just satisfying about, of course, writing on old-fashioned pen and paper. Now, if you are going to get a pocket notebook, I would definitely recommend getting a spiral one as opposed to like a bound folding one, because you can not only rip out pages if you want to, but you can open it to a particular page. Let's say you write a little to-do list for that day, and you can just keep it out on your desk with you, turn to that page and just look at it and reference it throughout the day. I do personally like this one over some other popular notebooks, like the Field Notes is something that a lot of people use. I like this. It's a lot more affordable. You can get like a pack of 5 for I think $15 or something. They each have 180 pages front and back, just regular sort of ruled lines, and you can fit a full-sized pen like this one I have from Muji straight down the spiral. So you always have a pen as well. So yeah, like this one a lot. And then another thing I've been carrying with me since moving to New York is this organic hand sanitizer from Dr. Bronner's. As you can imagine, the public transportation in the city is not the cleanest, to say the least. So I've been carrying around this hand sanitizer to just give a quick spray on my hands, especially if I'm about to go eat and I don't have a chance to wash my hands properly. I will use this quite frequently, and I like this better than sort of regular hand sanitizers from Purell or whatever, because those have lots of weird chemicals that may or may not be toxic for you. They got dyes and things like that. You taste it on your hands when you go to eat food or anything like that. This is pretty much an all natural version, non-toxic, from Dr. Bronner's. They make pretty good stuff, soap and things like that. So this is definitely essential for me these days. So for my phone, I've been using the iPhone 17 Pro, not the Pro Max. This is the first year in a while that I've gotten the regular size phone, and I definitely do not regret that. Really, I realized that there's no need for me to have that bigger phone screen. I don't want to be on my phone too much in the first place. And I usually rock it without a case because I'm just crazy and like to live life on the edge, but also because I really like this blue color, which I think just looks really nice. And once you go without a case, it's kind of hard to go back. It just feels way lighter and nice in your hand. Even though I don't have a case, I have been using this Moft tripod wallet, which just sticks on the back here like that. And this thing is very nice because I can carry my ID and just one credit card in here. And it also doubles as a nice little tripod, phone stand type of situation. And it doesn't really take up too much space. It's easy to just put on and off. This latest round of iPhones is quite good in my experience. I haven't really had any major issues. I've especially enjoyed using the new cameras and things like that. The video and photo capabilities are always getting better year after year. I feel like that's probably the only thing that significantly changes year after year. But I mean, when you compare it to the earlier iPhones, this was the first iPhone I ever got. This is the iPhone 4S, I believe. It's a big difference since then. You know, I don't remember what year this exactly came out in, but it was a while ago. So you can see it's a night and day difference from the earlier iPhones. The size is just completely different. Like, I can't imagine using just this tiny phone here. But the issue I would often run into with these earlier iPhone models was just like charging and the battery health. I remember the battery on this thing was just so terrible. It just degraded really quickly after just a year or two, and eventually could barely last a full day. And I think this phone actually ended up just completely dying on me and just doesn't even power on anymore. Apple's really good about continuing to support the older iPhones with the latest software updates. So what really ends up pushing people to upgrade their phone most of the time is just the fact that the battery starts to degrade. But these days, I rarely run into battery issues thanks to today's sponsor, Anker. I've been using and recommending Anker's products to my friends and family for almost 10 years now, long before I started a YouTube channel. I've bought their charging bricks, portable chargers, cables, car chargers, power strips, and more, and I've always found them to be the best quality and most reliable and innovative charging solutions on the market. Their latest addition is the Anker Smart Display Charger. It's their first smart display charger that'll instantly recognize your device and optimize its charging speeds to meet your needs while also protecting your device's battery health. The smart display doesn't just make your charging experience interactive and satisfying, but actually displays useful information like charging speed or temperature, which automatically adjusts depending on your device's battery level. When connecting my device, the charger instantly recognizes that I'm using an iPhone 17 Pro, and in care mode, it keeps my phone battery temperature 9 degrees lower than other 45-watt chargers to preserve long-term battery health. But this doesn't mean that it compromises on speed at all. It still has up to 45 watts of high power output, which can efficiently charge not just an iPhone, but iPads too. You can also rotate the prongs to either 90 or 180 degrees so you can fit the charger into tight spaces and still have the display face you at all times. Despite being a powerful fast charger, it's still super small and can easily fit into my everyday carry bag. Click the link in the description to check out Anker's latest smart display charger. Big thank you to Anker for sponsoring today's video. Now, another thing I've been bringing with me almost everywhere is a camera. And no, I don't mean the cameras on my iPhone, although those are great. I mean an actual dedicated camera like a film camera or my Sony a7C II. I've always enjoyed taking videos or photos casually since I was a kid, but it's only in the past year or two that I've started to take things a bit more seriously and try to actively improve my video and photography skills. And like building any skill, the most important thing is that you just practice it as often as possible. So I've been doing my best to always bring a dedicated camera with me wherever I go. I think the camera, when used intentionally, is one of those pieces of technology that will genuinely improve the quality of your life. I think, not to get too philosophical here, but it really just helps you appreciate the beauty of the world through everyday moments and just training your eye to see differently and just be more present in that moment. In terms of quality, iPhone cameras have gotten extremely good for both photo and video, but the experience that you get from using a dedicated camera, whether that's a film camera or a digital camera like my Sony, is just completely different and will often lead you to just be way more intentional with taking photos or videos rather than kind of spamming random shots like people typically do with an iPhone. Not to mention the fact that when you use your phone camera, you'll often be bombarded by a million other distractions, notifications, and things like that. So it's kind of hard to stay present in that photographer mode. I enjoy taking photos and videos and documenting moments from my everyday life so much that I am willing to take this extra, kind of big camera with me in my bag at pretty much all times. And I think I'm so drawn to it because it feels like the perfect balance between the more technical, logical, kind of nerdy side of me and the more expressive, artistic, and creative side of my personality. And I honestly think it is an amazing hobby for anyone to pick up and is a great antidote to all the brain rot and endless scrolling on our phones that we now do these days, because it really just forces you to get up and explore this amazing world that we live in. I've also been carrying just the AirPods Pro 2. These are kind of my go-to everyday headphones for listening to music, audiobooks, podcasts, things on the train like that. I have considered testing out the AirPods Pro 3. I've heard good things about it, but these have been really good. I feel like they did make some type of improvement. I feel like the noise canceling and stuff has become better. I think maybe they did like some sort of software update or something, not too sure, but these have been getting the job done for me. And I also simultaneously have been carrying just the regular sort of wired ear pods. And you might be wondering, why would I have wired ear pods when I can use the AirPods, which are more expensive, kind of nicer, better sound quality and stuff? The main reason for me personally is just for the microphone. If you've ever used the microphone on any sort of wireless headphones, AirPods, Sony's, AirPods Max, it's just pretty garbage. I don't know what it is, but especially in loud environments, it just doesn't sound too great compared to these simple Apple EarPods, where the sound quality through the EarPods isn't too good because there's no sort of seal, no silicone tip like with the AirPods Pro. But this microphone sounds honestly pretty good because it also gets like way closer to your face. So when you have them in, it's kind of up to your mouth like that. And so I carry this with me to just quickly take a phone call, FaceTime my girlfriend, or even at work, I'll plug these into my computer and so I can get some pretty good audio from the mic. And I also don't have to fumble around with Bluetooth, connecting the headphones, things like that. So carry both of these with me these days. One thing, Apple, if you're watching this, Tim Cook, product suggestion would be making wired ear pods, but with the silicone tip of AirPods, so that you have that, wired headphone benefit. You get the good mic, but you also have a nice seal on the tip, so you have pretty decent sound quality as well. Maybe you can even add noise canceling into wired ear pods. I don't know, but that would be a pretty cool headphone. I would definitely buy that real quick. And since I know also people are kind of concerned about Bluetooth and whether it's like screwing up your brain or something, some people are switching to wired headphones because of that. I'm not too concerned at the moment. I haven't seen enough sort of research about that, but the convenience of these is very nice. But Apple, silicone tips on the EarPods would be a game changer. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I spend a decent amount of time taking public transportation, whether that's commuting to work or just going around the city. And whenever you go into any form of public transportation, whether it's a bus, train, or even the elevator, the first thing you notice people do is oftentimes just pull out their phone and just kind of start mindlessly clicking around. Since I am spending multiple hours per week on the train, I do want to make good use of that time rather than just sitting in silence. And I also don't want to mindlessly scroll on social media or check email for the 10th time. So I've been trying to get into the habit of, by default, just reading on the train. And so I've been carrying in this back little pocket my Kindle Paperwhite. The Kindle is definitely one of those modern technologies that can genuinely improve your quality of life. Just the access to an infinite number of books can have potentially infinite amount of benefits on your life. You can of course also read books on something like the Kindle app on your phone, but the Kindle itself has that e-ink display, so the battery lasts way longer than your phone. You rarely have to charge it, and it also looks like natural paper in harsh sunlight and is completely distraction free, so you can stay focused on your reading. But even the Kindle Paperwhite feels a bit bulky in my everyday carry bag. Maybe I can start rocking it without the case, but even then it still feels, kind of sizable in the palm of my hand. So I am on the lookout for potentially a more compact e-ink reader that I can easily just whip out without any hesitation. So let me know if you have any recommendations for that down in the comments. Also, let me know down in the comments what your favorite everyday carry items are. I'm always curious to try out new pieces of tech and share the ones that I think genuinely improve the quality of my life here on this channel. I'll see you in the next one.